What's happening, world? B Marsh Boxing, and we back at it. It's been a long time since I've done one of these, man. I hate to say that every time I come back and do one of these, you know what I mean? But I'm back at it with the controversial decisions. I believe this is the first one I've done for the year 2020. And I believe I was slacking, slipping on my pimping last year. I think I only did two controversial decisions last year. I gotta do better. For 2020, I'm gonna definitely do better. But at least I gave y'all new series. You know what I mean? We got the top five dead or alive. I got more series that I'm thinking of putting up out there. You know what I mean? I still got my um, fights we didn't get to see series. You know what I mean? DuckTales still in full tact. You know, I had to flame up a couple people, try to jock my style, bite my steez, bite my style, copy me basically for those who don't understand the lingo. Copied my DuckTales movement, and I had to put them in check. And really and truly, I don't think I've seen any more DuckTale videos. Or maybe they've tried to, you know, kind of refine their videos about people ducking. But when it comes to DuckTales, man, nobody do it better than yours truly, B Marsh Boxing, you heard? Yeah, man, so we here. We here for this fight we got between Zab Judah and Lucas Matthysse, okay? Zab Judah is on his trying to get back in position for a world title. Moved back down to 140 after being undisputed at 147. Had the terrible loss to Carlos Valdemir, a fight he should have won. And then the loss to the man Floyd Mayweather, you know what I mean? He also had losses to guys like Cotto, Clottey, you know what I mean? Zab Judah went through the ring at one point in time. So he was basically trying to work himself back, you know what I mean? That fight he had with Joshua Clottey, the size difference, you could tell Zab Judah was just a super lightweight masquerading as a welterweight. You know what I mean? He wasn't as a formidable champion at welterweight like he was at 140 pounds. And 140 pounds, just giving you a sense of the landscape at this particular time when Zab Judah returned back down to 140 pounds. The landscape at 140 was on and popping, man. You know what I'm saying? It was a very good weight class at the time when Zab Judah returned back to 140. You know what I mean? Of course, here he's fighting an undefeated 27 and 0 with 25 KOs. Lucas the Machine Matthysse, La Máquina, you know what I mean? That's what Zab Judah's in the ring with. That's what we gonna get into. We had players like Amir Khan who was still around at his best weight class at 140. We had title holders like Unified Champ. We had guys like we had Tim Bradley. We had Devin Alexander. Them two fought in unified belts. Did I mention Kotelnik? I think I did. Kotelnik was a very good fighter, very slept on in this division. Had a controversial decision. I'm probably going to do a video on that sooner than later with Devin Alexander versus Kotelnik. You know what I mean? We had guys like Lamont Peterson who was campaigning at this weight class, as well as what's his name? What's his name? Not Virgil Ortiz, Victor Ortiz, vicious Victor Ortiz. You know what I mean? You check it. So this weight class was on it. Oh, how could I forget? Marcus Maidana was in this weight class as well at 140 at this time when Zab Judah returned down to 140 pounds. You know what I mean? So the weight class was on and popping. It was wide open at the time. Timothy Bradley was probably the most tough, rough and rugged fighter at the time. You know what I mean? You had guys like Amir Khan, you know what I'm saying? Devin Alexander, who at the time had a sturdy chin, you know what I mean? So it was a very competitive division. So it was wide open, and Zab Judah returned back to 140, where he was at his best. Although he's most accomplished at 147, being an undisputed fighter, but at 140, he put in his work. You know what I mean? So in this particular fight, like I said, man, Zab Judah returning back to 140 pounds, and It was a difficult fight. Let's get into it. You know what I'm saying? Let's get into it. So in the first round, um, it was basically a fill out round. Zab Judah using his jab. I'm controlling the distance, using his jab, flicking it out, even tripling up his jab. You know what I mean? Almost kind of remember how he caught Floyd Mayweather with that beautiful triple jab, that straight left hand down the pipe. That's what the man Zab Judah was doing. Not really throwing the power punches, like trying to knock his head off in the first round, but using the distance and jab, you know what I mean? And throwing his right hook. Zab Judah had a very nice right hook, To me, his best punches in his arsenal was his right hook, straight left hand, and his left uppercut. You know what I mean? Lucas is just flicking out the jab, you know what I mean? Nothing of really consequence, you know what I mean? Not really landing, really, you know what I mean? So round one goes to Zab Judah. Round two was a slow round, you know what I mean? Both guys, were jabbing, throwing the jab. Excuse me, Zab Judah throwing a straight right hand, you know what I'm saying? The crowd was already tired of these guys, This crowd over here, where was this fight? Was it in Atlantic City or New York? Where was it? Wherever it was, they were pretty impatient. Oh, it was actually in New Jersey. It was in the Prudential Center in Newark, New Jersey, and they were pretty. By round two, they wanted to see people get their head taken off, and they were already booing. You know what I'm saying? But round three, you know what I mean? Lucas was boxing now. You know what I'm saying? Now, the first two rounds I gave to Zab Judah, but now Lucas Matthysse is showing that he's not just a 27 and 0, 25 KO knockout artist. He can also box, you know what I mean? He can box with the guy who he feels he can outbox, you know what I'm saying? And, he was using his jab, you know what I mean? Through the jab, and nice left hooks to the liver. Now he's investing to the body bank, hoping that the body punches could pay dividends in the later rounds, you know what I mean? And let's get into it. We shall get to the later rounds in due time. You know what I'm saying? Zab Judah's threw a nice left uppercut, you know what I'm saying? But there was a headbutt in the first, and actually the very first clinch of the fight happened in round three. You know what I mean? It was basically a clean fight, as you could see both guys gauging the distance from the film on the screen. This is round one. Excuse me, but wasn't much clinching. But in the third round, when they did have a clinch, Zab Judah got cut above his left eye. Excuse me, not above, right below, or kind of on the side of his left eye. A little small nick that started bleeding, you know what I mean? And that happened in the clinch. This is a southpaw versus an orthodox fighter. These type of things happen, just like Zab Judah versus Joshua Clottey, you know what I mean? But I'm sorry, Lucas Matthysse is actually now using his footwork very well. He's circling towards his left to avoid Zab Judah's straight left hand and his left uppercut. So I give him props for round three. I gave round three to Lucas Matthysse. Round four is another close round. I'm sorry, it is a close round, not another one, but it's the first close round so far. Lucas Matthysse is very active, you know what I mean, but he's not really landing many punches. He's throwing punches but not landing anything. Zab Judah is being patient and he's being the counter puncher. You know what I'm saying? And Zab Judah throws a nice counter left when the man Lucas Matthysse had overreached with his right hand and he got caught in the reaching and he got caught with a nice vicious left hook to the body. Almost something similar to how Terrence Crawford ended Ndongo in the third round of their undisputed fight, you know what I mean? With excuse me, with Ndongo throwing a wide right hand, leaving himself wide open and his long torso being the taller fighter. That's when the man Terrence Crawford dug in with the beautiful left hand, and that's exactly what Zab Judah did over here, you know what I mean? So Zab Judah's finding his groove, you know what I'm saying? And I gave him that round, you know what I mean? Round four. Round five is another close round, you know what I'm saying? Lucas Matthysse is investing in the body bank as he started from round three, you know what I mean? Um, right hand, and he throws a right hand, straight flush right hand that opened up the little cut that Zab Judah had at from that clinch and the headbutt in round three. You know what I mean? You check it, but the man Lucas Matthysse is more active. Zab Judah is now worried about the cut. He's looking at the ref, you know what I mean? Not quite active. So that's a round that I gave to Lucas Matthysse. Round six, Lucas Matthysse is boxing. He's mixing up body and headshots. You know what I mean? Throws a nice four-punch combo. Actually was the best combination to me of the whole fight. And they happened in round six where Lucas Matthysse threw a nice left hook left hook disguised as a jab, and a straight right hand caught the man Zab Judah, and then another flush 1-2 to the body. You know what I mean? So that was a nice four punch combination. To me, that's what won the round for Lucas Matthysse. And Lucas Matthysse, like I said, he's mixing up his punch variation in in round six. You know what I mean? So that's a round I give to Lucas Matthysse. Round seven, Zab Judah's controlling the distance with the jab. You know what I mean? He's using his movement, lateral movement, and he's counter punching. You know what I mean? And he's catching plenty of Lucas Matthysse shots on the glove. You know what I mean? Parrying the shots and even firing back, catching shoot style. You know what I mean? Lucas Mathisse's best punch so far in that particular round. Not combination, but most beautiful, clean, eye-catching shot happened in round seven when he catches Zab Judah with a beautiful flush right hand. You know what I mean? But to me, it wasn't enough to win the round. I gave it to Zab Judah. Round eight, Zab Judah throws some nice straight left hands off the catch and shoot. Lucas Matthysse not so active in round eight. You know what I mean? Zab Judah's he's, he's got his groove right. You know what I mean? He's got his rhythm and his timing right. You know what I mean? And he's catching him with more left hands in one particular round in round eight than he had in any previous round. You know, so that's a Zab Judah round. But round nine, I gave it to Lucas Matthysse, throwing the straight rights, you know what I mean, and landing many. You know what I'm saying? Straight right hands, you know what I mean? Not even disguised with the jab, just lead right hands. Zab Judah did a good job absorbing Lucas Matthyse's best punches, but how long could he take them type of punches? He might have taken them the first few in that round. Where we at? And was it round nine? You know what I mean? But how long could he take them type of punches, especially with this being the later rounds where guys, fatigue can actually play a role in the rest of the fight. You know what I'm saying? But it was Lucas Matthysse landed the more clean, effective punches. You know what I mean? Round 10, Lucas Matthysse catches Zab Judah. You know what I mean? With a straight right hand while Zab Judah's pulling out. You know what I'm saying? Not so much with his head up in the sky, but he's pulling out in straight lines, kind of crouched, and kind of has his left. He actually does have his left hand placed. You know what I mean? To cover up his face, you know what I mean? But they kind of out of position. But Lucas Matthysse at the time, I'm trying to tell you, this guy had power, man. This guy was a real boogeyman. You know what I mean? And he got caught with the flush right hand by Lucas Matthysse that even kind of hit the man Zab Judah on the gloves. You know what I mean? Zab Judah partially blocked it, but he still got put down with a one punch shot. You know what I mean? Got to give that man Lucas Matthysse credit for that one punch power shot with the right hand that was partially blocked. That dropped Zab Judah. You know what I mean? But that just goes to show you what kind of power that the man Lucas Matthysse possesses. Zab Judah is definitely the quicker fighter in this fight. Got the quicker hand speed, you know what I mean? The better foot movement. But it was a very tactful fight as far as like a chess match, you know what I mean? And Lucas Matthysse at times was showing that he can box, you know what I mean? And he was outboxing Zab Judah in the few rounds that he did win, you know what I mean? Ooh, nice left uppercut right there. I think I mentioned that. I believe that was in round three by Zab Judah. You know what I mean? Lucas Matthysse, when you see a guy smiling, you know that joint hurt him. I think right there is where they had a little headbutt right there. Yeah. And that's when he got cut, when Zab Judah got cut right there, as you could see. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so round 10 is a 10-8 round, you know what I mean? Like I said, Zab Judah got the quicker hand speed, but Zab Judah has a bad habit of times of not letting his hands go. And at times it cost him in this fight, but let's keep it moving. Round 11, Zab Judah is caught by a straight right and a left hook, you know what I mean? Right when the bell rings, you know what I'm saying? And Zab Judah's clinching already, you know what I mean? Few shots here and there by the man Zab Judah, you know what I'm saying? Because, he was under pressure. He was under duress from pillar to post, you know what I mean? Every time he was trying to fight on the back foot, he would find himself with his back on the ropes. And Zab Judah just, was getting, the pressure was being applied by the man La Machina, you know what I mean? So round 11, you know what I mean? Even though Zab Judah was catching, being a dangerous fighter, you know what I'm saying? Dangerous fighter as in a guy under pressure, was landing some straight lefts in there, you know what I mean? Throwing some right hooks. But for the majority of the round, I had to give it to Lucas Matthysse because he had the man Zab Judah on the retreat and he was winning the exchanges, even though Zab Judah would begin to clinch when Lucas Matthysse closed the distance and would land in the exchanges. I had to give it to the man Lucas Matthysse, you know what I mean? But round 12 was a close round. Again, more exchanges landed by the man Lucas Matthysse, you know what I mean? Um, Zab Judah would clinch. Zab Judah had some nice, beautiful straight left hands. You know what I mean? That's why it was a tough round to score. What are you going to score for? The guy who's more active and throwing punches and exchanges. Most of them missing, but a few of them are definitely getting in. Or Zab Judah who's being patient timing him, even though it's a 12th round. You know what I'm saying? And the fight is in the balance. You know what I mean? It's the fight could go either way going into the 12th round. It's basically whoever wins round 12 gonna win the fight. You know what I mean? So Zab Judah was to me a little laissez-faire, a little too casual in round 12. But that's because of the pressure that the man was putting. And his pops, Yoel Judah, was flaming him up, you know what I mean? Tearing him a new one in the corner, giving him a verbal lashing because of how he performed in round 11, you know what I mean? You know, almost getting stopped basically. You know, had been put on the canvas in round 10 and basically was now giving up a lot of rounds in the championship rounds from 9, 10, 11, 12. You know what I'm saying? The championship rounds, which if the man Zab Judah just got to secure these, you know what I mean? But right now he's looking a little vulnerable. You know, so round 12, I gave it to the man Lucas Matthysse. You know what I'm saying? I gave it to Lucas Matthysse. You know, I thought that he just did a little bit more to win that particular round. You know what I mean? So Lucas Matthysse is Lucas Matthysse is undefeated going into this fight. You know what I mean? Has never lost a fight before. Zab Judah is trying to get back in position. Sometimes that's why I like doing these controversial decisions or just more historical videos. I like doing them not live, just doing and then upload them because anything could happen. For some reason, anyways, let's just get into it, man. So, like I said, man, round 10 was when the man Zab Judah got dropped, and I had La Machina sweeping the championship rounds. You know what I mean? As you can see right there, Zab Judah gets put on the canvas. You know what I mean? He gets dropped by the man Lucas Matthysse in round 12. So, I'm sorry, round 10. So, my scorecard, I had this particular fight, I had it a draw. You know what I mean? I had it a draw, 6 rounds apiece. You know what I'm saying? 6 rounds apiece. But the knockdown would be the difference. The knockdown's the difference, you know what I mean? Round 10. Round 10, I gave it a 10-8 round, obviously, because Zab Judah got put on the canvas, you know what I'm saying? So that was the difference right there to me, and it's a wrap. We got Zab Judah, he won this fight, a split decision, you know what I mean? Two judges had it in favor of him. I can't quite remember the scorecards right now. I know it was close, 114, 113, etc. And that's exactly how I had it. 114 to 113 in favor of Lucas Matthysse. I thought Lucas Matthysse won this fight. Close fight, 1 round. If I gave maybe one swing round to Zab Judah on my scorecard, I would probably have it the other way around. You know what I'm saying? Or 115, 112. You know what I'm saying? But Zab Judah, I didn't think won this fight, but it's all good. He did move on, and he got fought for a vacant IBF 140-pound title in his next fight versus the South African Kaiser Mabuza. But I thought Lucas Matthysse won this fight, and Zab Judah didn't give him a rematch, and I could understand why at the time. You know what I mean? Zab Judah what's the point of facing this guy you went life and death with? Who's not a world champion, who's a foreigner, not from the United States. And there's nothing wrong with a fighter not being from the United States. But the American public didn't know the guy like that as far as Lucas Matthysse. He's not bringing in big revenue for the man Zab Judah to risk fighting him again. So when he got his opportunity to fight for the IBF title, vacant title versus Kaiser Mabuza. What did he do next? He fought Amir Khan in a unification. And to me, that was Amir Khan's best and greatest performance ever in his career, as far as I've ever seen Amir Khan in a professional ranks. Look at the punch I was talking about. That got partially blocked. I mean, it was more flush right hand, but Lucas Matthysse power. Look how he catches him on the glove too. You know what I'm saying? But it wasn't enough. Zab Judah goes down. You know what I mean? You check it. So Zab Judah, I could understand why he didn't give this tough Argentine a rematch. But Zab Judah did his thing, but Lucas Matthysse, I think, won this fight. He landed, to me, the power punches, the body punches. You know, it was basically power punching versus jabs, and I'll always favor power punches over jabs. You know what I mean? You check it. I just have to. You know what I mean? Because Lucas Matthysse, man, wasn't that very accurate with his jab, but he's a power puncher by nature. He tried to box, won a couple rounds boxing, but he got into what he does best, and that's knocking people out. And when he dropped Zab Judah in round 10, it was a whole different fight. B Marsh Boxer, leave your thoughts and comments. Let me know how you guys scored this fight. I had it 114, 113, or six rounds apiece, but the difference is the knockdown. You know what I'm saying? Kind of something like Canelo versus Austin Trout. To me, the knockdown was the difference. You know what I'm saying? Um, Sergey Kovalev versus Andre Ward. You know what I'm saying? When I first had scored the fight, I had it 6 rounds apiece, with the knockdown being the difference. So for Kovalev, you know what I mean? So it is what it is. Be Marsh Boxer. Leave your thoughts and comments, and I'm gone. Peace.